Check out this early holiday gift I got from my parents. This make your own whiskey kit called Do Your Whiskey. Also, a whiskey enhancer. You could also see the back, which describes the process. Pause at any point to read. This is what the kit looks like opened. So the process has to start with a neutral spirit. I had thought I could put one of my bottom shelf bourbons in there, use a cheaper bourbon and enhance it. It's not the case. It's either a non-aged bourbon. I'll probably have to get like a Buffalo Trace White Dog or something like that. Or they say you can use a neutral spirit like a vodka. I'm not going to do that. Or maybe as a backup, another time I will. But I really want to start with a unaged bourbon. So the process, the main process really starts with these wood chips on top. It's really one of three: American Sweetheart, Dark Chocolate, or Vanilla Dream. If I'm understanding it right and I read it quick, you can be aging, kind of putting half the tube in a 350 bottle, 350 milliliter bottle, which is one of these. Got the corks over here. And then you're going to let it sit 2 to 4 weeks. Check it after 2, definitely 4. Filter it out. And then you have the option down here of these botanicals. They have several botanicals here. I think it's called Bird's Eye Chili, chai mix, coffee beans, cocoa beans, orange peel, and cinnamon. Okay, so we got the critical ingredient. We got the Midnight Moon Moonshine, 80 proof, unaged. Basically, same thing as White Dog, white whiskey, whatever you want to call it. It's an unaged whiskey. I'm actually going to actually review this on its own. I've seen this. I've never gotten these. But this is 100% corn. So in a sense, this would be what comes off the still, except for the fact this is proof down to 80 proof. This is what it would look like, but this would be a much higher proof before it goes in the barrel. In this case, they proof it down to 80 proof, which is a good thing. I don't think 190 proof may be a little bit high. But in any event, we're going to review this on our own. And then we'll put this is perfect. Because I'll do a vodka another time, but I really wanted to start with a true whiskey. So this will be perfect, and we'll see how this goes. Cheers. Okay, it's not going to be perfect. I reviewed this, and if you've seen the review I did, I don't think I could even describe to you on screen just how bad this was. And now speaking to messaging other people on TikTok who know a lot more about moonshine than I do, this isn't even really authentic. This truly tastes like rubbing alcohol. And honestly, I don't want to waste time doing a project with something like this that I think, if it's this bad, I mean, it's still in there. How much better is this going to get by infusing it with any of that stuff? So unless something changes, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to go with the vodka option. I have a little bit, since I'm not really a vodka drinker, I kind of have two here. We've actually done blinds with these, done reviews on my occasional vodka reviews. This Wheatley vodka is a Buffalo Trace product, as many of you know, and this is Grey Goose. They said to use two good vodkas, neutral spirit. I'm going to use what's left of this one and what's left with this one. It should be enough to fill up. I'm going to start with this. If this is enough, fine. If not, we'll mix the two. And I'm going to use this as the base. Not sure how that'll turn out using a vodka. That's kind of interesting as a neutral spirit. But I'm open to experimentation here. We'll see how this goes. So we're going to start this right now, and we'll use the vodka as a spirit, and we'll put it together. Let's very carefully put what's left of the Wheatley vodka in here. We already had a little bit of spillage. So this is kind of like a take two. Fills up kind of quick. So let's, all right, I'm going to pause this and you'll see it when it's done. Okay, here it is. I'm just filling it up to here. We just used the Wheatley vodka. We finished this one up. I never needed the Grey Goose because I think filling it up there is enough for this experiment. So I'd rather not mix another vodka in there. I like the Wheatley vodka taste, and they did say specifically a wheat vodka. I think this is really good. We could say we're making a Buffalo Trace product here. We're turning a Buffalo Trace vodka into a Buffalo Trace whiskey. We'll see how this goes. So let's do the next step now. I chose the dark chocolate for the wood chips. And you can see how it describes the flavors of the imparted from the wood from the dark chocolate, as well as the other two that I'm not using. In goes the wood chips. They said to use about half the test tube. Guess that's about it. Maybe a little bit more. Now you can see them at the top right there floating. This is supposed to basically replicate the actual wood cask that a whiskey right after distillation would be put into. So this is an unaged spirit. In this case, it's vodka. It's a clear spirit. This is to replicate the wood of the barrel that it would be in, the liquid would go into. Now it's time to add the botanicals. We'll check it in 2 weeks, but in 2 to 4 weeks, we're going to add in the botanicals. And now it's time to stick the cork in it. Already. Okay, so this is all ready. So I'm going to mark up this, going to mark what I put in here, the date. Today is December 1st. We're going to come back in 2 weeks, see how it's looking. It may need to go to 4 weeks. And once I'll verify the process. I think we have to filter out the wood chips, but then there's also a process of adding the botanicals. That does not stay in for a very long time. We'll check that out at the time. So let's revisit this in 2 weeks and see how it's tasting and if it needs more time. I think the longer the better, so we may want to go to 4 weeks, but we'll see where it's at then. Cheers until then.